Living off Bitcoin is possible today, and it might be the best decision you ever make. Let's mine deep. The Bitcoin standard is the idea of moving away from fiat currencies entirely and using Bitcoin as our primary form of money. It sounds crazy, I know, but it might be the easier and more sensible decision, especially in a world where the US government is spending $2 million per minute to pay just the interest rate on national debt.
Over $1.3 billion.
Take El Salvador, for example. In 2021, they made Bitcoin legal tender.
I will send to Congress a bill that will make Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador.
Citizens can buy groceries, pay for utilities, or even get a cup of President Bukele's homegrown coffee using Bitcoin through the Lightning Network. But it's not only the citizens of El Salvador that can live on Bitcoin. It's possible today in America, thanks to companies like Fold. Fold is taking Pay Me in Bitcoin to a whole other level with the ability to get your employer payroll in Bitcoin and pay any of your bills. And it's not just about spending Bitcoin, it's about saving in it. Sure, your bank might give you a 1 to 4% savings rate in between allowing drug cartels to launder money, but when the monetary supply is increasing by nearly 20% a year, that's a runner-up price. When you switch your savings currency over to the Bitcoin standard, you're saving in a currency that has a 1.7% inflation rate and a maximum total supply, all enshrined and enforced in code instead of at the whim of central bankers. This guy said it best 8 years ago. Switching your savings over to Bitcoin has never been easier as well, with the ability to passively earn Bitcoin cashback on every debit card transaction, and even free Bitcoin on some apps if you try your luck. So what's stopping us from fully transitioning to a Bitcoin standard? One of the major obstacles is volatility. People are still wary of holding Bitcoin when its price can swing so dramatically. But as adoption increases and the market matures, we could see less volatility over time. In fact, we're already seeing a quiet shift happening. Bitcoin's daily usage is at its highest in places with unstable currencies, like Argentina and Turkey, where hyperinflation is eroding people's savings. For them, Bitcoin isn't just an investment, it's a lifeline. So why should you care? Choosing a Bitcoin standard isn't just a novel choice for you or me. It's a vote against a fiat monetary system inching closer to totalitarianism every day. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are the final evolution of the fiat standard. Imagine a digital currency controlled by the government where every transaction you make is tracked. That's not a dystopian sci-fi plot. It's already being piloted in countries like Nigeria and India. A CBDC could give the government the power to freeze your account, restrict what you can spend your money on, or even decide when your funds expire. It's not about losing financial privacy. It's about losing control of your own money. In contrast, Bitcoin offers true financial sovereignty. No central authority can dictate how, when, or where you spend it. By embracing the Bitcoin standard, you're not just securing your wealth from inflation. You're opting out of a system that's built to control. When you choose Bitcoin, you're voting for personal freedom, for a future where your money is yours to keep, spend, and save as you see fit. The question isn't whether we can live on the Bitcoin standard. The question is, can we afford not to? Don't miss Brian Harrington Backstage. Why would somebody want to ditch their savings account and just buy and hold Bitcoin instead?
So a reason why someone would want to hold Bitcoin instead of dollars is because Bitcoin is better money. The problem is people that are in the US get paid via direct deposit over an account and routing number, and they pay their bills via an account and routing number. The problem is legacy checking accounts don't run Bitcoin, and places to buy and sell Bitcoin don't run the account and routing number. Fold cuts through all of that and now has both. So you have the ability to hold the better money while staying backwards compatible to that system where your bills and your paycheck live in.
Fold is also known for the points that it does. Sort of in a way, you guys are trying to shift that narrative. What are some kind of like misconceptions or myths that you can debunk?
Other credit card points aren't worth as much. Bitcoin paid in real time. As you swipe your Fold card, you get the Bitcoin in real time deposited to your rewards account. And so that number go up of Bitcoin, you're always gaining value over kind of the old legacy reward system.
And how do you see Fold helping accelerate Bitcoin adoption in everyday life?
The Bitcoin standard isn't going to be like one day a light switch flips or everyone like taps each other on the shoulder and goes, hey, today's the Bitcoin standard day. That's not how it works. Every single person, you're on a gradual adoption towards a Bitcoin standard. And so for a long time, people's savings, they've won. Like we all crushed it. We all hung out together on Twitter, crushed long-term savings, right? And now we're seeing through your work and through other people's works, like circular economies blowing up, right? But there's currently kind of a mental blocker on the ability of having a circular economy in the United States because of how tied to the account routing number, how tied to direct deposit and bill pay through legacy accounts kind of people are. Fold gives you the ability to have a circular economy type feeling while staying backwards compatible to the way you receive your paycheck, the way you receive your bills, and then you can withdraw and spend it in the circular economy if you're fortunate enough to, have a bar, have a meetup in your area that takes Bitcoin. So to me, that is how Fold kind of impacts the ability for people to live on a Bitcoin standard and push a Bitcoin standard into the world.
But one of the things that I've noticed is many people are still hesitant to switch using Bitcoin for daily transactions due to the price volatility. How would you address or mitigate this concern for users? Like, what steps do you see happening in the future to make Bitcoin more stable as a daily currency?
I tackle it from the opposite side and just know that Fold issues a 1099. And so having a gain is good. A gain means you literally protected your purchasing price, purchasing power. It literally means you're better off financially from holding Bitcoin instead of dollars. And so on the volatility question, I would say that just you can choose how to handle it yourself. You can choose how much Bitcoin to hold, how much dollars to hold. You handle kind of the volatility yourself. And then for the gains that you make, gains are good and it's simple from there.
For the transactions aspects, like let's say I want to go and buy coffee, because there's a lot of talk that people are like, I'm not going to spend my sats to buy coffee. But let's say you do want to. Do you guys do like the exchanging and giving coffee shop that doesn't accept Bitcoin? You give them fiat, and then in a way you are spending your sats?
Yep, great question. Exactly. You would take your Bitcoin balance and you would click on push to card, and you'd push that balance that you need for the coffee over to the card, and then you'd be ready to spend at the normal point of sale that the coffee shop uses.
And so what innovations or developments can we expect from Fold in the next few years? And what's your vision for Fold's role in the future of finance?
What's our vision? The vision is to replace legacy checking accounts, full stop. Like, you shouldn't use a checking account anymore that doesn't run Bitcoin, and you shouldn't use a Bitcoin exchange that doesn't have bill pay, period, because that's how you transform Bitcoin into your base money. And then as far as like in the future for Fold, how you're saying like 1 to 2 years out, like additional financial services like Bitcoin. We've had a lot of people wanting to add their family members, which I completely agree with that. Like the families that stack Bitcoin together stack more. And so authorized users is one that's coming out pretty fast. Deposit Bitcoin is rolling out to more and more accounts. And then as far as like 2025, we'll probably have to stick around for the next Bitcoin Magazine video for that.